Peak Performance Action Coach is our presenter today. He's going to be talking about mindset for change, kicking off 2011 with some fresh mentality. And this is going to be part of, probably do 5 of these?
5.
And hope you can make them all. And another, see if we can have more than one perfect attendee this year. So without further ado, Dave Verbeten from Peak Performance Action Coach.
All right, oh, geez. Applause ahead of time. I can tell you, quite honestly, that's never happened before.
Give them a better room.
Except when I've told them, which I'm going to tell you, I'm going to be an instant hero tonight. My understanding is that this was billed out as something that would end by 6. We're out of here by 5. Because that's how I built it, you know. So I'm not quite sure how it got.
4:30 will really apply.
Yeah, I don't think I can do that. I don't think I can do that. Well, listen, thanks for coming. This is a treat for me to do. I want you to know that. To be able to support the community that I live in is actually one of the things that I want to do and I like to do. So I have a real pleasure doing these things. We thought really hard about the curriculum, if you will, or the program set that we throw together this year. And as we're brainstorming in my office, the thought came to me, you know, I think we should start with change. Because it's really tough to get into a mindset where your brain gets porous enough to new ideas that you can actually go out and then begin to adopt into your business. Because that's what program number 2 through 5 will be about. It's more about the specific strategies and objectives and tactics and techniques that we want to share with you. But it's no good sharing them with you if the brain isn't ready and the heart isn't ready. So we're going to talk about mindset for change today, right? And I've said this before to a lot of groups where I start talking about change. I'm really not going to ask you to cross your legs, light candles, and hum. Okay? We're not going to go there. This is actually practical thought that we'll share and hopefully have dialogue about today. Does that sound all right? Sound like a good place to start? Why do you suppose it's tough to change?
Comfort.
Comfort. Got it.
There must be something in human nature that is pre-programmed to not change or to seek stasis or something.
Safety.
Yeah, you're close. You're close. You're both close. Yeah. Anybody else?
And a fear of the unknown.
Fear of the unknown. Yeah. So look, the real deal is that it's, I gotta get on this side. It's tough to change because there are truly 2 opposing forces at work. So I want you to imagine, right, the rider and the elephant. If the elephant wanted to go to the left and the rider wanted to go to the right, how successful would that rider be at pulling that elephant to the right?
It depends on the bit.
Yeah, I don't know, there's still a lot of weight there. Okay? Still a lot of weight. The fact is, almost impossible. And so I want you to imagine the rider to be, and this is true to form, this is researchable fact, is there are 2 opposing forces in your head and your body. One is the rational. It's the planning, the analytical, the so-called logical. The other one is the emotion, it's the energy, it's the thing that motivates you to change. It's largely the emotion. This group has heard me talk before about what is the allocation of emotion to logic as we process decisions and make decisions. What is that apportionment? You remember that rule? It's the 80-20 rule. All right, so which is the emotion and which is the rational in that picture? The elephant is the emotion, and the rational is the poor rider. And if the goal that's set does not align the 2, what's the likelihood that the goal will be achieved? You know, pretty slim. Yeah, really pretty slim. And it isn't that the rider, right, is lazy. The rider just gets exhausted trying to pull that emotion and align that emotion. All right, so I want you to keep the figure of the poor rider and the elephant throughout most of this conversation, okay? Because in many respects, that rider never had a chance. I like this. keep your coins. I actually want change. Why does anyone, for that matter, want change? Why, although it's difficult to change, why do we want to change?
To improve ourselves.
Opportunity. Well, something isn't working yet.
Opportunity. Something isn't working, right? Exactly. Susan, you said something and I missed it.
Improve our circumstances.
Improve our situation. Exactly. Okay, so the mindset for change, let's identify change, right? So change, to make the form, nature, content, and there's a little mystery in this definition, but this is pulled right from Webster. To make the form, nature, content, and future course of something different from what it is or from what it would be if left alone. If left alone. So there's the rational. The rational says, I need to lose weight. The emotional says, oh, one more cookie won't matter. The rational says, I should really be safe or should drive home safe. And the emotional says, one more for the road, boys. The rational says, I really need to take my business to a new place. And the says, it always gets better in May. Does any of that sound or feel familiar? It's this at work. So we talked about goals. Why are goals important? There's a thing, some of you have heard this before, and it's fundamental. Goals actually activate this little part of your brain that sits at the base of your brain down here, and it activates, you can Google this, trust me, you get a lot of great information. It activates your reticular activating system. It actually becomes a compass. It becomes a filter. Because all too often, as business people, as individuals, we say yes to way too many things. And we say yes to way too many things, and our agendas get really full, and our progress slows down. Because we aren't saying no to enough things. And that's largely because our goals, as set, aren't crystal clear enough, or because we don't have a goal to activate the filter. So why are goals important? It gives you destination and it gives you a filter for more accurately answering yes or no appropriately. Oh, but stuff gets in your way. Does that poor guy in the right-hand corner look familiar? Sure does. So what's the kind of stuff that gets in our way? Number one, failure to set goals. All right, so how many New Year's... I didn't see you guys since the holidays, right? So how many New Year's resolutions have you set for yourselves personally? All right, good for you. 0, all right. That's safe. How many have you set New Year's resolutions or goals for your business? Okay, so truth be told, if you set a goal for your business, you set a goal for yourself. Because if you don't know it, that business is there to serve you. So that's why it's important to set those goals. So, first place where we start to fall apart is if we haven't set those goals. Second, failure to communicate the goals to others. I was coaching, this happened actually with 2 different individuals. And one was an insurance agent. And I don't typically coach solopreneurs or individual contributors, but I can do that in group sessions. And so, we talked about goals. It was one of our sessions right after the holidays. We talked about goals. And the insurance guy said, oh, Dave, I have set a great goal. I'm going to take my kids to Disney World. Wonderful, hallelujah. Who have you told about it? I told my wife. I said, well, that's good. She probably wants to look at the checkbook too. Did you tell your kids? Oh, no. I couldn't do that. Why? I might let them down. We tend to let ourselves down first. If we vest our goals in others, we're more likely to persevere. True. Because I heard the story again from another guy later in that same day. Okay, failure to communicate goals. And that's to your team as well. Here we go. Team does not understand the goals or connect with the strategy. Who has employees that they need to guide and align? Excellent. Excellent. How important is it for them to know the goals and the headlights on the road? Pretty important. Really pretty important. Right? Here's a big one. Stuff gets in our way because we don't actually know where to start. It's the first step. You'll hear more about this later in one of our change formulas. Yeah, and there's the enormity of the task. It tends to be an elephant. So when we don't